Hey, what's going on YouTube? We are back with week 4 of Getting Better at Killer. This week brings us the hag voted on by the Discord server. Link in bio. Join and Don the Chiza will be very, very happy. The hag. Oh, the hag. I've played her a tiny bit in my early years of Dead by Daylight, but never really enjoyed her. In my mind, she was probably one of the worst killers in the game. And I was not excited to play her. But with that being said, maybe she had some crazy buffs I was unaware of, so let's get right into the perks. Her first perk, Hex Ruin. While a generator is not being repaired, it regresses at 150% speed. Gen defense has never been easier. Her second perk is Hex the Third Seal. When damaging a survivor, they gain blindness. Honestly, I was unaware of what blindness meant, which caused me to look down on this perk initially. Blindness essentially blocks all aura reading for survivors. And her final perk being Hex Devour Hope. For each survivor unhooked at least 24 meters away, 1 token is earned. At 2 tokens, 10 seconds after hooking a survivor, gain 5% haste. 3 tokens, survivors gain exposed, and 5 tokens, you can kill downed survivors. With each of her perks being a Hex Totem, I was a bit worried for day 1, because usually I tend to only use killer's perks for day 1, meaning that 3 out of my 4 perks could have been completely useless if the survivors cleansed all hexes. But with the perk breakdown out of the way, let's get right into the gameplay. Oh gosh, I don't even know how to set her up. Honestly, I kind of assumed that her strats would be similar to the Trapper. Place my traps near a vault point, choke points, and hook survivors. I also felt like putting them near gens might be useful early on. So as we are getting our first chase, you'll notice this gen on the left here is regressing, yet we didn't kick it. That is thanks to Ruin. Everyone say thank you, Ruin.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
One thing I noticed about the hag was it felt like her reach was horrible. I'll probably have to say this over and over again. Maybe it's a skill issue, and you can feel free to roast me in the comments, but there were times I felt like I should have hit and I just didn't. Like what? So yeah, game 1 was like most other game 1s, getting a feel for her and trying to remotely grasp what I got myself into. I lost very badly with all 4 getting out. Yeah, not a single kill. I think my main downfall for game 1 is I had a lot of bad chases that led me to only having 2 hooks around the time they had 2 gens left. But with game 1 closed and our current record being 0, 0, and 1, let's see if we can turn the tides with game 2. Game 2 almost started off worse than game 1. They were able to get 1 gen off right away as I got my first chase. Luckily, Ada made a dumb mistake and I was able to get her down and hooked pretty quickly. This game I was wanting to focus more on where to place her traps. They seem to be very useful being able to defend hooked survivors without full on camping them. Here I was able to get Meg down while she was going for a save. Also, placing them around shacks similar to the Trapper really allows you to not get caught up there for too long. Game 2 started off pretty bad, but after the second gen got done, it was kind of just hook after hook from there. With our first 4K with the hag, let's check out her Mori. Honestly, kind of gruesome in comparison to other day 1 killers. So far I was kind of vibing with her perks, especially Ruin. I don't know why, but I was just gravitated towards it. I think each of her perks are individually powerful, but using 3 hex totems is kind of wild for my understanding of the game. But with that being said, let's get right into game 3. But before that, shameless plug time. Sub to the YouTube and follow the Twitch. We are on the road to 1K on all platforms. It's free to follow. If you don't, Don Cheese will come to your home and steal your cheese. Thank you. Let's get back to the video. Game 3 started off hot. I was able to get some decent damage off by the time they got their first gen, getting a hook and some hits. One problem I've noticed with the Hag is she isn't very good in chase. You should rely less on her chasing and more on her traps, or you'll find yourself in very long chases like this. Looking back at Game 3, nothing really stood out to me much. It was a relatively even game that seemed to be won by skill difference. Not really anything I did on Hag specifically influenced this game. And honestly, this is the thing I love about this series the most. I'm getting to learn each killer, but even strats that every killer can use. And I do feel like the more I play, I will learn new strats for future killers easier. But Game 3 came down to another 4K with our second Moray. We are positive for day 1 so far. And feeling good. Game 4 and Game 5. I grouped these together because they were honestly very similar to Game 3. It felt like during my time playing Hag, the success was less dependent on how strategic and skillful I was with her, and more so how good I was at killers in general. The lack of extra abilities really bottlenecks her skill gap like most other early killers. Not saying you can't be good with her, I am a noob after all, but I genuinely think if Hag was the first killer I started this series with, these games would be going way worse right now. Both games came down to the wire. I never really felt in control, but I also never really felt out of the game. I was able to get a 4K in Game 4 and a 3K with a hatch escape in Game 5. The survivors made simple mistakes here and there, costing them each game and ultimately sealing my win-loss record to 4-0 and 1. With one game left in day 1, I wanted to seal out a 5-win day. I wanted to convince myself that I was just the best Hag player there was. But when you have an ego, the world tends to humble you very, very quickly. Game 6 started out very slow, and I could tell there was something off with this game. I went through setting up my traps like usual, but couldn't find anyone. Didn't even hear a peep. At all. This was sped up 2.5 times and was around 1 minute long, not seeing anyone, not hearing a thing. I thought that maybe the survivors were hiding, even cleansing my totems potentially. I'm unsure if they were just lurking for most of this or if I was super unlucky with the timing of everything, but that long minute and this chase was enough time for them to get 2 gens done pretty quickly. What is she doing? Okay, there's 1 gen done here. Where's this freaking hook at? Bro. Yeah, I was screwed. 2 gens before my first hook. And around 25 seconds later, 3 gens before my second hook. You know what they say about people with ADHD? We work best in crunch time. So with 4 gens done and only 2 hooks among the survivors, it was time to lock in. I was able to get David down with my teleport, getting our 3rd hook. And Lee down not too long after, getting her 2nd hook. And then they rush saved her with 3 survivors. I was set on trying to get this win. I wanted nothing more than to end this day with 5 wins. I might have been a little toxic, but I was determined. I wanted to make sure that they wouldn't get away so easily. They were trying their hardest to make sure everyone left, but I wouldn't have that. I couldn't have that. I'm not sure what this David was doing, but in the end I was able to get 2 of them out of the game, ending game 6 as a tie. With day 1 out of the way and our current record being 4-1-1, I had a lot of mixed emotions with the hag. I initially thought she might have been the worst killer in the game, but I managed to pull off a decent record. But none of those games came super easily. Honestly, day 1 was just confusing. Let's see if anything changes in day 2. Okay, day 2, I was ready. I was prepared. I felt like day 2 could only get better, right? We already got the basics down. Our record was 4-1-1, so let's not waste any more time. Let's break down day 2. I started off doing what most hag players would probably tell you not to do. Didn't place a single trap and immediately got into a chase where I got pallet dropped once again with that short reach. I finally got to placing a trap and immediately hopped back in chase. I think this game I was making every choice I shouldn't have with the hag. I did not place nearly enough traps to start off and was really only relying on my chase skills, which with the hag, this is a terrible idea. Luckily I was able to get Fang down right next to the basement. I placed a couple of traps because one really good thing about the hag is their ability to play defense on the basement. I do feel like I found a lot of success through getting survivors hooked in the basement and placing 2 to 4 traps down there, so when survivors get unhooked, I am able to be right there, hopefully keeping one of them down in the basement, kind of like this.
Five minutes later.
Unfortunately for me, this game had been very bad on my part and not exciting at all. Until they got all the gens done. I was able to pick up the pace near the end, and honestly, I will also give props to the hag, because she seems to thrive in late game situations, so if you plan on playing her, maybe consider playing slow and putting on perks for late game. I was able to one-shot Bill right as he was trying to leave, thanks to Devour Hope, causing some tension. I believe he thought he had a free escape because he was full health, but I was able to get him hooked. They had let Bill get down to his second hook, and I was able to get one of the Fang Men's down. I thought that maybe I had a win sealed. But the other Fang Men decided leaving was better than saving, so this game ended in a tie. I knew that with game 1 ending in a pretty bad tie, something needed to change. So I swapped out Beast of Prey for Weeping Wounds and decided to keep it pushing. This game I actually decided to place some traps before initiating chase. I managed to trap one of them in the corner, but looking back, I should have put a trap on the right side and then broken the pallet to help my situation. But then this happened. I'm not really sure what this Sable was up to, but she absolutely screwed herself.
Are you high or just incredibly stupid?
I think Sable's teammate actually was stunned by what she just witnessed because she just let me down her. Their teammates were not really worried about saving them, letting Sable get on second hook, and with that trap I just placed, I was able to get a hit off on Mig trying to save Cheryl. This is once again where I will give praise to Hag. Being able to play defense on hook survivors without puppy guarding is beautiful, because I'm able to keep pressure on gens and other survivors while still being able to get right back to a hook when needed. With that being said, this game was pretty much over, and we had gotten our 5th win as Hag. Game 3 and Game 4. These games left me feeling more confused than before. Game 3 hurt my ego so much. This game actually came down to the wire. There were too many chases during Game 3 that hurt my chances of winning. With constant chase leading into pallet drops or flashes, I just made simple mistakes that I should have avoided. Ultimately, Game 3 came down to a loss. While Game 4 was pretty dominant, getting 3 out and an unfortunate hatch escape, I felt like I was able to keep the pressure on them from the beginning and keep that momentum. In conclusion, the Hag is a better version of the Trapper, yet I never felt very dominant with her. The teleportation aspect of her traps allows her to play more defensively around the map, being able to guard nearly done gens or hook survivors. I found it best to put more than one trap in an area just so you have multiple chances to teleport to them. The thing that separates her and the Trapper though is the fact that you don't have to walk to the survivors. Obviously Hag doesn't stop all movement due to her trap, but I think I'd rather have a teleport than Trapper's bear trap. I think I might have been either just lucky with noob lobbies or just having a really good couple of games, because I don't feel like her actual ability reflects the games I've had, because even with a final record of 6, 2, and 2, I feel as though she's a very mid killer. But with that out of the way, let's get right into the full ranking. These are her overall ratings that I gave to her. I think that her skill gap is quite low. I don't think that you really can progress much with her and how you play with her. I feel like she's a very one-dimensional character, and that's why she's kind of low rating on a lot of this. So I think Don Chiza is gonna go ahead and give that a thumbs down. And with that, week 4 is over. Time to rank the Hag. I'm going to go ahead and put her at C tier. I've placed her near Trapper because I do think they're similar level, but she's just slightly better, slightly has that edge. I also want to start adding my overall win-loss ratio with all killers. So currently we are at, and our total win percentage being at, and our top 3 killers based off of win percentage. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Go ahead and like and subscribe. It is free after all. And I hope to see y'all in the next one. Also, go ahead and watch my old videos. If you haven't. If you have, you still can. You can watch the old ones. You can. If you want to, again. But, yeah. I don't know why I'm still talking. Okay, bye.